I'm sending my child to Union College, which is a liberal arts school.
Oh, okay. Wow. So even more
Yeah.
expensive than an Ivy League.
Yeah, they're gonna teach him all about the liberal stuff, and
Nice.
That'll be real fun. That's where the director of Sneakers went to. The writer director.
He went to the Unions?
He went to the Union College. Yeah.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
doing a little research on him on Wikipedia.
Yeah. It's the same man that did Field of Dreams.
Yeah. Did you actually watch that movie?
What, Sneakers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You watched it?
You didn't watch
no,
it?
I watched it. I did.
You didn't watch it?
Mason's like, we should watch this movie, and I was like,
I saw it was
Sneakers.
I saw it was like a heist movie.
It wasn't a heist movie.
And then I hadn't seen it.
yeah, it was. It was not.
It was though.
It was.
It was a heist movie. It was like a 90s heist movie.
It was definitely a 90s movie for sure.
It wasn't like a spy thriller,
but
but it was about a heist.
I'm trying to find the bait buffet
You good, Mo? Are you
on
good,
my
bro?
Patreon here, and I can't find it.
Are you good?
I think we're shadow banned.
Uh-oh.
Call support.
Call the support.
Yeah.
Call the snort.
No, I was like, Mason's must be on one to watch this, but maybe he's right. Maybe it'll be good or something. I don't know. I don't know how I found this. What was it recommended to you on? Just like Apple?
Not really recommended by any. I heard tell of it.
From who? It's like a forgotten movie from the 90s.
It is forgotten. I had never heard of it.
Completely.
Robert Redford.
Others.
Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd is
he's
in it.
Notionally, he's in it.
I watched it today. Like
you watched it today?
Like I just finished it right before you came over.
You just finished it?
It was the worst movie I've ever seen.
It was the worst movie you've ever seen?
It was terrible.
It wasn't the worst.
At first, I was
it
like,
wasn't the worst movie I've
I was
ever
like,
seen.
this is like one of those movies that like I'm gonna be super not passionate about. Like it's gonna be like this really like mid film. But as it went on, I just got more and more pissed, and now I'm ready to just tear it to shreds.
All right,
live.
Well, start up.
Well, I took some notes.
Fire up your engine.
Worst movie I've ever seen.
It is not the worst movie you've ever seen.
It's the worst. It's got the whisper mix, dude, where like you can't hear what anyone's saying.
What?
And then like I jacked my volume on my laptop all the way up. And my kids were yelling in the background for a lot of it.
I'm just gonna let you know I could hear the movie perfectly okay.
Well, what were you watching on your setup downstairs?
Watching on my fucking television.
Downstairs?
Yeah, at a low volume.
With no kids?
At a low volume.
It had I hate these movies that have the whisper mix. It's like all 90s movies.
This is nothing. This is just okay. Just because you watched on your laptop and you couldn't hear it has nothing to do with anything.
It sucked. I jacked
That's
it
not
all.
the-
I'm like,
that's not the
surely
movie.
there's some volume knob I'm missing.
That's
Like,
not the movie's
YouTube's
fault.
all the way up.
That's not the
The
movie's fault.
MacBook's
though.
all the way up. I'm like, is it like streaming to my AirPods or something? And am I just like hearing it from the other room?
Shut
Like,
the fuck up, bro.
I don't know like what's going on.
I could hear it. I could hear it just fine.
Something was up with the sound.
something was up.
Maybe
How are you watching
I
it?
rented it on YouTube. Maybe they uploaded like
That's
the
your
fucked
first.
up.
That's your first mistake.
They uploaded the whisper mix there.
That's your first. That's your first fuck around.
Where'd you get it from?
On the fucking Apple thing.
You rented it from Apple?
I rented it from Apple.
We got 8 members.
Nice.
Nice.
Still
Still.
consistently.
I think some people left, maybe some new people
We've got.
joined.
Oh,
possibly.
okay. Yeah. Well, 8 solid. Like supporters. You know?
Yeah, that's sick.
They
dude.
support us.
Yeah. Maybe there we should hold a poll to decide what movie we'll watch next. Because we gotta streamline this process.
We gotta.
That was a terrible pick.
We'll pick the next one, but then we'll do a poll, and then because we need it to be in advance to know.
Right. Yeah. I mean.
So we need it to be a week out.
We'll just we'll like maybe put out like a little comment thread, and we could even ask people here like what are some good movies, and then we could choose maybe 4, and then we could have people pick between those. I don't know. We'll figure something out.
Sneakers wasn't worse than Sleepy Hollow.
It definitely was.
What?
Sleepy Hollow, it did make me really sleepy.
It put
But
me to
there were at
sleep.
least aspects of it that I enjoyed, like the cinematography, and there's some blood, and there was like a hot chick in it. Christina Ricci was kind of hot in that movie.
I like the blind guy
Which blind guy?
in Sneakers.
There's a blind guy?
Forrest did not watch the movie.
did. Was he the black one?
No.
Wait, which blind
dude,
guy?
you did not watch this fucking movie.
Wait, was
There
River Phoenix blind?
No.
Who was
Okay.
blind?
Shut up! You are killing me.
I spent $4 on it.
You did not actually fucking watch it.
I did.
You watched it all the way through.
I just finished it right before you came over.
You turned it off. I
was
bet.
pissed.
I bet in the last. I bet 20 minutes and you shut it off.
No. I started
Dude.
it, and Luna was harassing me for Mickey's show. I'm like, no, I gotta watch this for the bait buffet.
Well,
And she watched it with me.
My kids were not harassing me while I was watching it. I will give you that. That does make it more difficult.
I was also drawing while I was watching it. So
okay, I see what was going on here. Forrest had
I'm not gonna sit down and watch this movie. Like, I will not.
Forrest had it picture in picture.
Yeah,
in the fucking little ass corner
not even picture in picture
on his fucking iPad.
It was full screen, but I was looking at my iPad drawing, so I wasn't even really watching the visual. I would just look up every now and then.
Dude, okay,
Yeah.
all right. Okay.
But I heard it, and I heard the whispers. And I heard.
Okay,
I heard the terrible '90s score too.
The score was pretty. Yeah, it was pretty forgettable.
It was terrible. It was like so like whimsical. Like the movie was trying really hard to be like funny.
There was some moments that were almost funny.
It was like real like dad like old grandpa humor. Which is like. Man.
Robert Redford was a real mensch.
Oh man, that's one of the other things I want to talk about. Really, really boring. Too confident. The filmmakers, everyone looked like they were having way too good of a time. Everyone, whoever was making it, like they thought that they were like God's gift to Earth, and like this is like a great movie. Like you want your filmmakers to be a little bit less confident.
I didn't think it was that bad. It was pretty mid, but it wasn't that bad.
It was.
I liked the how it was like one heist, and then another heist.
The initial heist, and then they found out that they
got duped.
That was a good twist.
They got duped.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah. Like it's like, oh, the NS. Well, right. Yeah, and I liked how it was like the dad from Grounded for Life was the mathematician. He was so ridiculous.
Yeah, he was cool.
It was really.
He wasn't in it that much.
It was really a comedy.
It was
more
something.
like a 90s comedy. I was like a 90s comedy heist.
It was like way too laid back to be like anything.
It could have been more.
It felt very relaxed.
It could have been a little more suspenseful, I guess.
Yeah. Like the stakes were so low.
But it was like kind of fun. Like it wasn't like, I don't know. It was like the Sleepy Hollow. After Sleepy Hollow is a little bit refreshing for me.
Wait, did you watch it with Mackenzie?
I fucking sat through this whole fucking movie. I watched it.
Did you sit by yourself in the dark and watch it?
No, Mackenzie watched it.
Oh, she watched it with you? What'd you think of it?
She didn't think it was very good.
Yeah, it was bad.
It wasn't that bad.
It was the worst movie I've ever seen.
You didn't even watch it.
It was like hell.
You didn't even fucking watch it. Forrest literally wasn't even watching this movie, and somehow it was hell.
I was like checking the runtime every so often to see how much left.
Oh my god,
left.
that's so bait. I can't believe you waited until the day of to watch it. And
I was like, oh shit, I gotta watch this movie.
And then you didn't even fucking watch it enough to recognize that one of the main characters was blind.
Who was blind?
The guy who was coming up with all the technology ideas and stuff.
The technology ideas.
I don't know his name in the movie. Fingers or something.
There was Dan Aykroyd.
Bones.
There was the black
Bones.
guy. There was the young guy, which was River Phoenix.
Yeah, the other.
There was Robert Redford.
The other guy.
And there's some other guy who faded into the background. I can't remember.
Dude, that's the blind guy.
Blind guy.
And he was constantly doing stuff. You didn't, dude. There was a scene at the end of the movie where he was literally a blind guy driving their van.
Wow.
You didn't. What?
I didn't pick up on any of that.
What?
They probably whispered it a few times. He's blind.
So it was open on your phone.
What was?
This movie.
It was open on my laptop.
On your laptop.
Which was in front of me while I was
Which was
drawing.
in front of you.
I've been busy with my cartoons. I've been making lots of cartoons recently.
Yeah.
I'm tuning it up. Sidney Poiter? This guy?
Dude, that's the black guy.
I think he was the blind one.
No.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
Yeah, David Stratham.
This
Whistler.
guy?
Yeah, Whistler.
This guy, the guy
Yes.
who says that's Jason Bourne.
He was blind.
Oh, I didn't really pick up on that. That's cool.
Dude, you didn't. It is like central to so many parts of the film.
I don't think it was that central.
It really was.
God, the movie sucked, dude. Damn it. We can't do this. We can't just do like a blind bag pick like this.
I had never heard of it before. No, we got to watch stuff we haven't seen sometimes.
Sometimes. If we know it's
I can hardly sit through a movie I've seen already. And you won't watch The Dial.
I refuse to watch The Dial.
Dude, you think the Dial's gonna be worse than this?
It's just,
only up from here.
I mean, I'm sure The Dial is worse. I'm sure The Dial is worse.
You think The Dial is gonna be worse?
That's why I don't want to watch it.
Worse than that?
Worse than the worst movie ever, yeah. Like, so far, out of all the movies I've seen, this is the worst film I've ever seen.
Dude, shut up.
And I know The Dial is going to be much worse.
It was not. This isn't worse than, like, The Room or something.
But The Room's funny and entertaining.
But it's like a terrible movie.
It's a terrible movie, but it's overall, like, the enjoyment factor is kind of like what I value the most in watching a film. And this movie, it wasn't bad enough to be bad.
I felt like
it wasn't good enough to be good.
I felt like there were some fun characters.
Who?
The fucking blind guy was good.
The blind guy, was he like always like bumping into shit and stuff? Or like,
dude, he was like what
was he doing? I don't remember him ever tripping over anything.
Dude, they didn't have him running through like an obstacle course
like C-3PO like on the set of Star Wars.
No,
like
it wasn't like that.
Toppling over.
Yeah, that guy was good. I thought his character was fun. The ex-FBI agent who is the black guy, he was good too. He was like angry. That was his thing. He was like angry.
I liked Darth Vader at the end.
Yeah, James Earl Jones.
He should have been in it more.
He was good.
He should have been like the lead. I would have been way more interested.
I would have preferred that. Yeah,
Robert Redford like
Robert Redford was really losing his touch at that point. I don't know what was going on with him. His acting was really.
Movie made $100 million.
And they picked a
$22 million budget.
Commercial success.
Pretty damn good.
And they picked
that was like $1 billion back in the day.
Not a very hot chick.
I know. That's my other note.
Maybe she's
hardly
hot.
Any sex.
Maybe she's hot if you're like a grandpa though.
Yeah, she's like 90s hot. That's like just what all women look like. It was like the Trinity era.
Yeah, no, she was like old too.
The short pixie cut.
She was like old too.
She wasn't that old.
What? She was like Robert Redford's age.
That's just like what women just looked older back then.
Bro, she was intentionally cast.
Let's see.
As an older lady, Robert Redford's
to be on
age.
Robert Redford's level.
Yeah, because they're like
her name is Mary McDonnell. She was born in 1952. So what would that make her, like 71?
It was like classic filmmaking. It was like a classically 90s film. I didn't think it was that bad. It wasn't great, but like I don't know. It was kind of fun. It was fun at some points.
Robert Redford was born in 1936.
So 20 years.
That's like a 20-year difference.
Okay. And how old was he in this fucking movie?
Dude, who knows?
You said 36?
Damn, he was born like during the Great Depression.
How old is he still alive?
Oh my God.
Is Robert Redford still alive?
Yeah, I think so. Pretty sure.
Isn't he in The Old Man and the Gun?
Yeah, he was.
Have you seen that? I don't know if I've seen that.
I'm never gonna watch that. We're never gonna watch another Robert Redford movie on this program again. You've ruined Robert Redford for me now.
Why?
Because you suggested this movie.
What?
And I'm pissed.
You didn't even watch it.
I watched it enough to know that I'm pissed. Let's see,
bro.
Why don't they show any?
I had to sit through Dracula. I had to sit through.
You didn't have to sit through that. That movie's beautiful,
dude. There's so
many practical effects and stunning.
Dracula is
artistic visuals.
Dracula was an absolute slog.
No.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It didn't make any sense.
It made the plot was perfectly.
The plot made no sense. Filmmaking wise.
He's 87 years old.
Wow.
Damn, he is an old man with a gun.
He is really still alive.
He's looking good too. He's always looked good. He's always a handsome
spry.
man.
He was spry in that movie. I'll tell you what. Yeah, I don't know. I liked how it was like. I liked their.
She's 71.
I liked their job. Okay, so yeah. She's
she's
like relative to his,
So like
Yeah.
What? How old was she in 92? So that was like.
She was like 50 something.
That was so. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. No, 40. Wait, no, 40 something.
She's like in her late 40s.
She was like 40 something, and he was like mid.
So
he was like like late 50s, I guess.
Because like it's 2023, so that's like 21 years ago, right?
Carry the one.
31 years ago. Damn, the 90s was a long time ago.
Yeah. I do be like 30 years old now.
No.
So it was 31 years ago, 92.
Oh my god. Oh my god. So she was 40.
She was 40.
Wow, that's not that old. 40? You made it sound like she was like elderly or something.
She's like an older lady.
40 is not older. That's like middle age.
Middle age is older.
Middle age is not older. It's just like you're like an average adult age is like 40. I feel like
the average.
You're not old if you're 40.
Average adult age is 40.
Yeah, like if you're an adult, you're 40. Like you're basically 40. Like I'm turning 30 next year, so I'll basically be 40 then. Like it doesn't really matter.
First
between the ages of 30 and 50.
First you leave
I don't
the
really
one.
Feel like it matters.
So in your calculation of how many years ago this was, first you leave off the one.
Well, I was just thinking she had to be
10.
like in her 50s if you said she was so old. So I was like thinking like that can't be right.
She was 40 and they made her look like she was 50.
Yeah, I mean, she looked like she was.
She wasn't like set up to look like some like hot young heiress or something like.
No. I mean, I think the pixie cut, obviously wasn't doing her any favors. But she could have been attractive if she had different makeup, different outfit. She had the really like 90s pointy shoulders, like that was really big back then.
Shoulder pads,
the padded bits. They should bring that back.
No, leave it.
But like make them more angular, like they were in the Victorian era, where they're pointy.
Leave it.
I like that.
Leave it.
I want to get more gothic around.
So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
whole, we should make her whole set like really. Gothic.
She wasn't like super sexy.
No, she didn't show any skin.
She looked okay, but it wasn't like a sex film.
There was like one sex scene with like a weird like Russian lady who wasn't hot at all.
And that wasn't even a sex scene.
It wasn't even really a sex scene.
That was like spying. I did like how they were like all kind of like wanted to watch them fuck though.
Yeah, that was weird.
And like River Phoenix, he's like,
let me see.
He can't get his hands on any pornography.
Yeah, that was like the best they could do, I guess, back then.
Yeah.
I didn't think Playboy was around.
I liked
like
how
a lot live like video.
I liked
pornography.
I liked how it was kind of an ensemble cast. I liked Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd was, his usual self.
Yeah, right. I felt like it wasn't. I felt like it was
terrible.
It wasn't terrible. I felt like it was okay.
Here, where's more notes here?
Would I watch it again? No, I didn't buy it. I don't think.
Thank God. I spent $4 on it.
Well, I rented it.
Yeah, that's what I did too.
Okay,
I was gonna say.
You probably spent more time looking at this fucking.
It's a very.
Stick at this.
It's a very liberal film.
Post it.
It was written by a liberal arts student who went to Union College.
You know that liberal arts doesn't actually literally mean liberal, right?
I mean, what does it mean?
It's like liberal arts would be like any of the arts that are not like drawing, painting, like pottery, like English would be considered a liberal art, I believe. Other things too. So
you don't have to, it doesn't denote any kind of like political affiliation?
No.
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, that's good. That's good.
Dude, you've been radicalized.
No, I just hate liberals. So it's like
liberal arts does not denote any kind of political affiliation.
But they probably are very like left leaning. If you had to guess, right? Like
there's Christian liberal arts schools.
Christian liberal arts schools.
So.
Wow. No, there's an oxymoron. All right. Well, okay. Well,
the liberal arts, it's
the liberal arts.
Liberal arts is used it's liberal is used in a completely different sense.
Like liberal, like in what sense?
Like more liberal than like I don't.
So anything that's not what?
Let's look up a definition. It's not political though.
It's not political. What does liberal arts
Liberal
mean?
arts, academic studies such as literature, philosophy, mathematics, and social and physical sciences as distinct from professional and technical subjects.
Like what?
What? Liberal arts colleges differ from larger public universities and private institutions in a number of ways. A liberal arts college is a 4-year undergraduate institution that takes a broader approach to education by focusing on the arts, sciences, humanities, and social studies.
So just any art, basically. Why not just call it art college?
Because liberal arts sounds more fancy.
Okay.
And liberal has not been such a trigger word in the past, as it is now in the political discourse.
As distinct from professional and technical subjects.
Like engineering. Or like
philosophy, mathematics. I'll have to look more into this. That's interesting, though.
It's not. You thought it was you.
But like
you
they're
started reading. You were reading shit.
No, it's the very beginning of the film.
Yeah.
And they're like hacking into him and his buddy.
Yeah.
Younger Robert Redford and his younger Ben Kingsley.
His buddy Cosmo.
Cosmo and Wanda are hacking into some sort of early computer system to like steal money from like Republicans.
They're like transferring money from like the Republican Party. So
they're stealing money from like the political party that they don't like, and they're giving it to like
like
Greenpeace or something, or
or something.
They're just transferring it to like some other random,
and they get caught.
Yeah, Cosmo gets caught. Robert Redford went out to get a pizza.
They flipped the coin. They flipped the coin.
Don't remember that.
And Cosmo, you weren't watching it.
I was watching it.
You were not.
I remember they were stealing money from Republicans.
You were not fucking watching it. You were listening to it.
Why is it okay to just like steal money from like the political party that you don't agree with? Don't we live in like a
I think the time period that it was centralized on was like right around when Nixon and stuff. So people were pretty fired up about Nixon.
People are always fired up about politics. That has never changed.
People were especially fired up about Nixon. He was
as opposed to now. You think people weren't fired up about Trump?
I'm saying like this movie wasn't fucking written now. It was written in the 90s.
So it's okay just to like steal money from the political party that you don't like?
When is it okay to steal money from anybody?
It's not.
And they got caught. What? I don't understand.
But like at the end of the movie.
Yeah, that was good. That was funny.
It wasn't funny. It's like okay, we're gonna steal money from the Republican Party again, and give it to like the United Negro Fund or something, and Greenpeace and like some other organization.
Right. Yeah, the NAACP, stuff like that.
And it's like. You can't just like steal money and give it like it's like a Robin Hood like situation.
I guess so.
You're like alienating like half of your like audience basically. Like this like liberal like wrote this movie and was like fuck like Republicans basically.
Okay.
It's like but like why? Like it's so random.
I guess
like,
that's just
that wasn't like even in the character's like backstory to like be super liberal or something. It's like some like Hollywood hack write this movie?
Whoa! What do you mean it's not in his backstory? Like the story literally begins with his backstory of trying to.
But like why is he so like liberal? Why does he hate Republicans so much? We never like if that's part of his character, I would like understand. Like if that was more of a central like theme in the movie, like Republicans versus Democrats, and he's like a Democrat or whatever, like hardcore. I would like kind of get it more.
I think it's like about it's about like the man,
It was
and
just like this like Hollywood writer insert character.
I think it was more. I think
if
it's
I
like
was a hacker, this is what I would do.
Right.
And it's like it's just so like random. It was just so random and like yeah, he didn't like learn any lesson at the end. He just like got away with everything and like just stole money. And I'm like, so like what lesson was learned? Like what character development happened from A to B?
Well, he tied
absolutely none.
He tied things off with Cosmo.
What even happened to Cosmo? Did he go to jail?
Dude, you didn't watch the movie.
Did he die? Ben Kingsley showed up for like a little bit and he was in the movie. And that was his like partner that got fucked over at the beginning. He turns out he now works for the mafia.
He thought
and
his partner, they flipped it. They were like, all right, who's gonna go? They're like doing this heist or whatever, like on this doing this like computer hacking thing or whatever. And Cosmo's the real hacker, you know. And he's like, well, how are you gonna, you know, let's go get some pizza. And they're like, all right, let's flip a coin to see who's gonna go get it. And Cosmo, they flip a coin, and Cosmo cheats.
Oh, he cheated?
Cosmo cheats
because he didn't want to go get the pizza.
He didn't want to go get the pizza.
Who doesn't want to go get a nice slice of
za? And then because he cheated, he is not the one he's the one that's still in there.
Okay.
And so then he gets fucking arrested.
Right.
And put in jail. Cuts to however many years later. Turns out Cosmo was in jail for X amount of time and died. Right. And Robert Redford's like carrying that like noose like that like as a weight around his neck.
Right.
And then the NSA comes and they're like, "Yo, like,
he got butt
yeah," and he's like living under an alias because there's a warrant out for his real name.
Right. Why is the movie called Sneakers?
I don't know. It's not a good title.
It's a terrible title.
I mean, hey, it made $100 million in 1992, so that's basically
sneakers
$1 billion.
Were like the term sneakers for shoes was around in the early 90s, like Michael Jordan and shit.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like a term that was like predated like the sneaker craze.
Yeah.
Why would they call it that? It's not even about sneakers.
They're sneakers.
They're sneaky boys.
They're sneaky
They
boys.
should have called it Sneaky Boys. Sneaky Boys.
I mean,
and one girl.
hey. I mean, you're dogging on it, but it made $100 million in 1992.
Just because there's nothing to watch.
That's
back
basically
then.
$1 billion.
This is like they put out like terrible movies back in the day.
That's
terrible. This is like all they had to go see. It's like your grandpa would go see it when he was like in his 20s. It's like eons ago. It made me really grateful for like, because I dog on like the movies that are coming out now, but then I'm thinking like, oh, like I was watching the movie, I was like, this is like what we had to like the people like my parents and shit had to like contend with, like
that was
that was
what there was to watch. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, every once in a while you get something good, you know, like a Forrest Gump or a Lion King or Pulp Fiction.
It wasn't that bad.
Ooh. I mean, the 90s were a really good time for movies. I mean, but it was more like, I guess, like later into the 90s. Like, not like, you know, late 80s, early 90s. I'm trying to think of like something that came out that was good before, like in around 92 or 91. I'm sure there were some good ones. But I know like the 80s had a lot of like good action movies, but there were a lot of terrible movies that came out then too.
A lot. I mean, the ones that, you know, are talked about are the ones that were good, you know.
Yeah, right.
You know,
I can't believe like they just like put this in the theater and it made $100 million back in the day. It's insane. Imagine them doing that now. Like this movie would do nothing.
Studios are really if it was made like in a modern way, I think it might.
This is also
if you
trying
had
to
like an ensemble cast,
like cash in on the whole like, you know, hacking like craze, you know, like back.
Yeah, people were worried about computers.
So that this was like a hot button issue, I suppose. Cosmo gets arrested, forcing Martin to become a fugitive from the law. He takes on a new name. He used to be Martin Bryce, but now he's called Martin Bishop. It's a cool last name.
He doesn't really change his name that much.
Just the last name.
Yeah,
that's all you need to do, really. There's a lot of Martins. Yeah, you don't want to like change your whole first name. Like that'd be crazy.
I guess so.
Bishop's a sick name too. That's a good choice. He heads a security specialist team undertaking penetration testing. The team includes Donald Creese, a former CIA officer and family man.
Hey, Mr.
Darren Mother Roscoe,
Mr. Creese,
a conspiracy theorist and electronics technician. That's Dan Aykroyd, of course. Carl Arbagost, a young hacking genius, and Irwin Whistler Emery, a blind phone freak. And I was looking into this. Do you know what a freak is in computer hacking terminology? It's a sensational spelling of the word freak with the PH from phone. It's a slang term coined to describe the activities of a culture of people who study, experiment with, or explore telecommunication systems.
Yeah, like that was his like that was like his thing. Like when they were like talking to the NSA, he was like making sure they couldn't trace him.
Right.
He when they got like the secret like little box thing.
How did he do that if he was blind?
Dude, he has a fucking Bro.
Oh, man.
I can't believe you have the fucking gumption to fucking tell me you watch this fucking movie, and then every single thing I bring up about it, you're like, what are you even talking about? What do you mean? Why did he do this? Because he was blind.
This movie made me wish I was blind.
Bro, you basically, dude, but you didn't even watch it.
I saw too much.
You fucking you listened to it, and apparently you couldn't even hear it. So what did you?
This made me want to be blind and deaf.
Dude, you didn't even. Oh my god, dude, you. I wish I wish I had a fucking video of you watching this movie.
I would glance up. If I heard something mildly interesting happen, I would glance up or catch it out of the side of my eye.
Dude, oh my god.
I got the gist.
Oh my god.
I was watching it, legitimately watching it for the first like 3 or 4 minutes, and then I gave up.
Oh my god, dude.
It opened up and it was like, the tone was stupid. I was like, this is a dumb tone. Too confident.
Too confident.
The filmmakers were just too confident. They had like a hit on their hands. They were just like
commercially it was a hit.
It seemed like it was really like laid back.
Commercially it was a hit. Commercially,
not with the young kids.
What?
Not with my generation.
The unborn.
Yeah, who wasn't born yet.
This movie fucking did not do well in the unborn market.
No. I'm probably the first person. We're probably the first 2 people who've rented it in like 15 years.
I'm surprised it was even on the services available to rent. Honestly, it seems like one of those movies that should be locked away in a vault.
It seems like, yeah, just like the most nothing. I don't know how you got turned on to it. It's the most nothing movie.
It wasn't nothing. There was some good stuff. The movie itself was okay. Would I recommend anybody watch it?
Absolutely not.
Not really.
Absolutely not. Never watch this movie. I can't believe you got your wife to watch it with you. Was she on her phone?
Not most of it.
Wow. Yeah.
She fucking sure as shit watched more than you did.
Well, Alyssa, like I could never convince Alyssa to watch something like this. Like she would just not. She would refuse. So, I admire your guys.
I couldn't even convince you to watch it.
I mean, I gave it a fair shake.
Don't act like you've got some fucking Herculean ability to fucking sit through it.
I tried my best.
Oh my god, this is so funny. Like
we all have our limits.
You're fucking you're dragging me for suggesting it. You're fucking dragging the movie, and
hey,
literally
when you suggest a shit film,
dude,
you're gonna get dragged.
Dude, if you, I want the fucking security camera footage from you fucking watching this movie, because I bet you were like literally drawing. Fucking Luna's sitting right there.
Got some good work done too.
You can't hear it because it's loud up there. Understandably so. To children. Right.
Luna, give him back the toy.
You're fucking drawing.
Give him back the toy. Don't steal.
You're fucking drawing. It's super low. You couldn't figure out how to get the.
Do you want a timeout?
How to get the volume up?
Okay, give it back to him. Then.
If the volume was so low, why didn't you put one of your AirPods in?
Because I want everyone else to experience it. I want Luna to see it. I want to get her take. I want to be able to communicate with my wife.
You can't hear with only one ear. One AirPod.
One AirPod.
One AirPod, not 2.
That might have been the move, but what if Luna wanted to check it out? I don't want to like.
Well, it's a visual.
Not include her.
It's a visual treat.
It was so dark. It was a really dark film.
Dude, what is going on with your computer?
Did you not think it was dark? It was very shadowy.
There was some parts that were very shadowy, other parts not so much.
It was very much a.
I liked how
a kind of Norrish.
So man, this is so funny.
Bad.
This is like this is pure comedy.
Like thriller heist. That's not very thrilling at all.
This is pure comedy.
And it's not really a heist.
No, it wasn't a thriller. Don't get it twisted. There was no thrills to be had. What is it listed under?
There was like one like shotgun that went off in the movie, but no one got hit. I don't think did anyone ever even get shot? There was something like murders off screen that we heard about.
Yeah, like the dad from what's his name?
Like, why don't we see some more murders or sex? Like, what do I got to do to like get a fucking murder?
It's listed as a thriller / crime, and it definitely was a crime. but it definitely was not a thriller. Maybe back then. I mean, it's not like Braveheart's a thriller.
What was even the crime that was committed? Like
They were stealing from people.
stealing what? Oh, from the Republican Party.
No, they were stealing technology.
I feel like Robert Redford committed more crimes than any of like the actual villains in this movie.
The murdering villains?
I mean, they supposedly murdered people.
No,
was all off screen.
no, it wasn't. Not all of it. The fucking Russian guy that was trying to help him, they capped him right on screen.
They did. I must have missed
Bro,
that part.
how did you not hear that happening? It was literally gunshots. Oh my God.
I remember at one point there was some guy, I think it was River Phoenix, he was crawling through an air duct, and there was a guy shooting a shotgun up at him, and like the bullets were almost, nearly hitting him.
That was near the end of the film.
That was probably the most thrilling part.
Here's the thing. Here's the
film.
Here's the thing about this movie. I did fall asleep.
What?
For like 10 minutes.
Wow.
I fell asleep for 10 minutes. I woke up. Mackenzie's like, "Are you fucking watching this?"
Why are you defending the movie then?
I mean, no. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Okay, number
you're
one.
You're just mad at me for not watching it, and you had to watch it.
Well, here's the thing. I didn't even know you didn't watch it when I started defending it. So number one. Okay. Number two. There was some things that I thought were good. Mostly, like the twists with the NSA.
Right.
I like the blind character.
It's always good to have a blind guy.
I liked. I'm trying to think about what else.
When one of the villains
I liked how
put a gun up to the black guy and was like, "Hands up, midnight."
I don't remember that part. Did they do that?
Yeah, it's like your classic like racist
and then
slightly racist like 90s villain.
And then he turned the tables on him, right?
Yeah. Then he turned the tables on him. Yeah, he got his comeuppance.
You know what I did watch last night was Black Dynamite. That's always a good time.
Oh wow, yeah.
Dynamite.
That movie's awesome,
dude. He walks in. He's like fucking saying something to the female lead or whatever. This chick comes around the corner, in the house, and she finishes his sentence. He's like, "Shut the fuck up, Eugenia! I know that was you. You better fucking hope I don't even see you. I'm gonna send you back to Crenshaw Pete and his hot ass coat hangers."
The movie's classic.
His hot ass Crenshaw Pete and his hot ass coat hangers.
Such good
my
stuff.
God.
Yeah, you guys check out that movie. That's actually a good movie.
That's Michael Jai White's breakout performance.
What else has he been in?
What?
Michael Jai White. What else has he been in?
Is he not in a bunch of stuff?
I don't know. What else has he been in? If it's such a shocking declaration that I just made, then you should be able to list off several titles.
I know he's been in a bunch of stuff. I don't know.
Why you act so shocked when I asked then?
Because you usually
you act like you usually know. So obvious.
You usually know more than me.
I don't know anything.
Oh, whatever.
I don't even know how to add.
Who am I confusing?
I'm
confusing Michael Jai White with somebody. Oh, he was in The Dark Knight.
Michael Jai White?
Apparently.
Are you talking about that guy's white?
No, Forrest. Michael Jai White. The guy who plays Black Dynamite.
I'm thinking of some other guy who's in The Dark Knight named Michael.
He was in The Dark Knight. I think he was.
Wait, he was in The Dark Knight?
I think he was the
Black Dynamite.
Yeah, apparently. But I'm thinking. I was thinking of Michael Jai White being somebody else, actually.
Oh. Wow.
Who is the? No,
what else has he been in?
No, it's because of the same. Oh, Michael B. Jordan. It's the name.
Yeah.
It's the name.
There's a lot of Michaels.
I'm mixing up the name.
And they always have to do the middle name initial because there's so many. So they always try to stand out.
Honestly, I prefer Michael Jai White to Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, for sure.
Dynamite.
What else is Michael Jai White?
Oh, well, he has been in a lot of stuff, but none of it's very good.
Gotcha. Yeah, he's one of those B movie.
He was in
actors.
he was in Kill Bill apparently.
Was he Spawn?
He was in The Dark Knight. I think he was Spawn.
Oh, cool. I've never seen Spawn.
It's
is that good?
I wouldn't call it that. Yeah,
I seriously considered buying a stuffed bear for a long time.
He's in a new movie called Outlaw Johnny Black
because of Black Dynamite, with the dual gun holsters.
Oh yeah,
it was I looked into it. It was $10,000. I almost
bear.
If it had been $5,000, I probably would have done it. But $10,000 just a bit.
Write a book.
I'm glad I didn't though.
Write a book. Call it that. Because
then I would have had to lug it around everywhere I moved and.
Yeah.
It takes up a lot of space. But yeah, it's just so cool
Unless
to
you
have like a stuffed bear with
unless
like
you have like a sweet pad like Michael Jai White.
gun holsters on either side. Yeah, if you have enough space, if you got like a bachelor pad,
Who the fuck is interrupting my kung fu?
that probably wouldn't be appropriate for like,
Movie
a,
is
like a
so
family
fucking funny.
setting, and I probably would have had to get rid of it.
Movie
So
is so funny. Yeah, like a massive grizzly bear.
yeah,
Yeah.
grizzly.
So, dude, no. There's things that are good about the movie. Like, it wasn't like the worst movie ever. Like,
it was the worst film
you could
ever
if you
seen.
watched it, you could follow the plot.
Yeah, it was definitely a very simple plot.
Like, you could like the plot was it was a story that was
It
told.
was centered around obtaining a MacGuffin, and there's some treachery involved and some old acquaintances. You know, old friends become new enemies, and the movie proceeds to continue on being a film. It exists. It's just one of those movies where like it really just is like a thing. It's like a thing to go to the Cineplex and watch for 2
You like go,
hours.
you watch it. There's a twist, you know, a couple.
There's kind of a twist.
There's a couple of twists. His buddy was alive.
Why was it not like more sexy? I thought 90s movies were like more steamy, like The Bodyguard.
What?
And stuff.
Who?
You ever seen The Bodyguard? That's a good 90s movie. When did that come out? We should watch The Bodyguard next. That movie's awesome. It's about like, you've seen it, right?
I don't know if I have.
It's about Kevin Costner, and he's like a private security for this like famous singer who's being stalked by this guy. Like it opens up and like
Drama/romance.
yeah, dude, it's so
This
good.
movie is good.
Yeah, The Bodyguard.
38%. You're telling me this movie is good?
It's only got 38%. No,
Dude, this movie looks terrible.
No, this movie's good, bro. When did this come out? 92. Yeah, same year. Yeah, it felt very much like a bad version of The Bodyguard, like in the way it was like edited.
The Bodyguard
the music,
made $400 million.
The style. I cannot believe that fucking Sneakers has an 80%, while The Bodyguard has a 38. Like, what is going on? What is going on?
It does not look good. This movie.
It's a good movie, dude. It's legitimately like sweet. It's a
romance.
Up.
It's a romance film.
It's like a romance action, like intense, like movie. Yeah, it's sick. It opens up and it's like the fucking stalker like cutting pictures out of the magazine of this famous chick.
Yeah,
and
it's
like
Kevin Costner
really
and Whitney Houston.
He's
like, that's why it did so much money.
And
Whitney Houston was in
he's
it.
like cutting pictures and like taping them together with his like gross fingernails and shit, and you can't see his face. It's so sick. And then it like I forgot where it cut, and then it like cut. So you know it builds up the suspense.
I'm starting to really feel like
and then like
terror movies that just are like.
He like breaks into her apartment. He breaks into her house like while she's gone or something, and like jerks off in her bed. There's like cum all over her bed, and she's like, "I better hire a bodyguard. Like I'm like in danger." And then he like I forgot how they meet or something. Like I think he's like running like security at one of her shows, and he has to like.
Well, don't go too far
What?
into it. If I have to fucking watch this, don't tell me about it.
I mean, it's a good movie. Yeah, I don't want to spoil it. It's steamy. It's saucy. Whitney Houston is awesome.
For you to have a good opinion of a film, I feel like there has to be some pretty heavy TNA.
I mean, it definitely helps. It doesn't hurt.
It seems like a requirement.
Yeah, this is a good one. Yeah, this is like a.
Is it?
Whitney Houston, dude.
So far, you have made it sound like, you know, it's very sexualized.
Hey, it's not that sexy. I mean, it's
he
about
jacks off all over her bed.
We don't see him jack off, but she finds the cum.
She finds enough cum on her bed
to be disturbed. Who jerked off into my bed?
Like, was it like?
It was like a handful.
Like what? How much nut?
Nut, like dried nut, is on her sheets.
How much dried nut has to be expended on these sheets?
Rachel Moran Rachel Moran is an Academy Award nominated actress and music superstar.
Yeah, Whitney Houston plays this person.
Yeah.
That's why the movie did such good numbers.
Who was being sent death threats by a stalker. After a bomb explodes in her dressing room, her manager, Bill...
Stop telling me about it!
This is just the first paragraph.
I don't want to know. You're gonna make it.
Former Secret Service agent who served on the Carter and Reagan presidential details to protect her. Frank. He reluctantly accepts her offer, but he feels Rachel is a spoiled diva who is oblivious to the threats against her life. Yeah, he's all like, yeah, you know, I'm a tough, you know, military man, and you're just some chick, you know, like, I don't want to do this job, you know, honey.
Man, I bet we watched this movie. The script trash.
Rachel's like,
the story horrible.
She's like, Whitney Houston's like, you know, not taking the threat seriously enough.
She's taking it seriously enough that she hires a fucking bodyguard.
Well, her manager made her do that.
So
she's like, hey, I don't need protection.
So you're telling two different fucking stories here, because the first...
I haven't seen it in a while. I saw it a couple of years ago.
I'm gonna fucking...
I've seen it a couple times, but like last time I think it was a couple of years ago.
I'm gonna throw you out the window.
She accuses Frank of being paranoid.
I'm about to pitch you, bro.
Complaining of his extensive protection techniques. They're intrusive on her life.
He's getting too up close and personal.
Yeah, Frank
Stop
and Rachel
telling me the fucking plot of this movie. Stop.
This is sick.
You're killing any interest that I had in watching this movie, and I had not much interest in the first place.
I'm so excited to watch this one again. Yeah, this is a movie that is actually good from '92. I wonder what else came out in '92. Let's look it up. Films from 1992.
You're gonna put me in my fucking grave,
Batman
bro.
Returns. That movie.
You're gonna put me in my fucking grave, bro.
Last of the Mohicans. I've never seen Army of Darkness. Dracula came out in '92. Wow, sick, dude. These are all the hits. A lot of movies. Let's see here. Malcolm X. Patriot Games.
1942. Or 1492.
What's that? Is that a movie?
Sigourney Weaver. Armand Assante. Michael Wincott. Oh no. Doesn't seem like it. Of Mice and Men. Reservoir Dogs came out in 92.
Nice.
Frankenstein.
Doesn't seem like there were a whole lot of good movies that came out this year.
Death Becomes Her. Arizona
just
Dream.
like a couple.
Far and Away. My Cousin Vinny. Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
I guess that was before, that predated the TV show.
I guess so. Last of the Mohicans.
Ferngully. The Last Rainforest. Sick.
That
Aladdin.
That
Aladdin.
Movie's good.
Oh, Muppets Christmas. Very cool. Very cool. Okay, there's some okay stuff. Sister Act. Never seen Wayne's World.
There's a lot of fucking movies that came out in 92. Jeez. Oh, Batman Returns.
Right. That movie sucks.
Malcolm X. I haven't seen
Home Alone 2.
I haven't seen Malcolm X.
Lost in New York City.
Glengarry Glen Ross.
Why is Sister Act on here twice? Sister Act is on this list twice.
Well, did it come out twice?
Maybe it's like the director's cut. More sister, more act. All right. Anyway.
Oh man.
We're getting lost in the sauce here.
So what's the point of saying that we're gonna watch movies if we're not even gonna watch them?
I watched it,
bro.
I spent $4 on it.
You didn't watch. You spent the money. You didn't watch it.
$4.
This is. I'm gonna take
and
you.
Guess
to court.
what? Guess what I got? Guess what? I have the ability to watch it. The rental period is 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
They really did me a solid there. They really threw in like a nice little bone for me to gnaw on.
YouTube gives you 4 weeks.
No, just on this one title. Everything else is like 48 hours. What? I was like, what? It says expires in 4 weeks. I've got this thing for
It didn't just say that like before you played it.
For 12th of the year.
Usually it says that like until you play it, and then it's like
you've got 4 weeks to press play.
Yeah.
No, like I pressed play, and then it said expires in 4 weeks.
Weird.
Maybe that's just like a glitch or something.
Bizarre.
Yeah, like cause why would a rental period ever last that long?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's insane.
How's Family Video gonna make any money?
Right.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
So
have we switched to wide in a while?
I think I
There we go.
might take you to
Go for
court.
dogs.
I think I might take you to court.
You're not taking me anywhere.
Yeah, no, I am taking you to court because I sat through this fucking thing. You didn't even watch it.
Really boring.
You didn't know. You didn't, dude. How were you bored? You were not even watching it.
Because I was like, man, I could be watching anything else right now, but I have to watch this movie because Mason suggested it. You fucker.
You didn't have to.
I did because I had to watch it because you suggested it for the show.
Well, you could have said you could have been like, "Hey, bro, did you watch it?" And I would have been like, yeah." And then you would have been like, "Ah, damn, now I have to watch."
I thought about asking you.
You didn't know it. You didn't know if I watched it.
I assumed you did because
I suggested
you're
it.
the one who
I
suggested
had to
it.
watch it.
And you just don't seem like the kind of guy who would, not watch something like after you suggested it. Like, yeah, I didn't put up any kind of fight,
I'm not gonna I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It wasn't good.
No,
but it wasn't terrible. It's like
it was the worst film I've ever seen.
If you want like a pretty like a low energy movie, like something that's like not really gonna pull you like one way or the other. Because that's really its biggest weakness, right? Is like it is very low energy. Like everything that happens, like it's like Robert Redford. He's way too tired.
He's like chill as fuck.
He's way too tired to be dealing with all that. Maybe there was stuff going on in his personal life. I don't know. It wasn't a great performance from him either. Like his delivery was.
He wasn't like.
Forget about it. Like literally forget about it. Like you don't want to remember.
Yeah, it's like why. It's also just a bad script because it's like why should I care about this guy because he robbed Republicans? Like that makes him an endearing character because I'm a liberal arts hack.
Well, no, I don't think you were. I don't think that's why you were supposed to care about.
But
him.
He's just like some random white guy. Like I don't care like if he goes to jail. Because he's handsome. I'm supposed to just like automatically be on his side.
I think it was more so like like he's got a past of wrongdoing, and but now he's got all these other guys to like look out for. So hopefully he can keep things afloat for them.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think about how to make this movie better, like what they could have done to improve it. And Oof. I think it's just like you got to tear it up from the ground up, from the floor up. Everything's got to go.
Everything's got to go.
Yeah, you got to recast everyone, rewrite the scripts.
Recast everyone?
Make it sexier.
What?
Make the villain better. Like the villain sucks.
There was really I guess
Ben Kingsley was a good get. I mean, he could have done a good job if they gave him something to do.
He wasn't
so like muted.
He wasn't really revealed. Well, here's the thing. He wasn't really. It was weird because like he didn't have a very villainous motivation. Like right. He wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna.
Seems like things worked out for him pretty well.
Use this to blow up the country or whatever, or like the stakes were weird. Yeah, there wasn't like the stakes were not very
steaky.
Because it was like he
wanted to destabilize the economy.
Like he wanted to like destabilize the economy. So like yeah, like
he was like the lamest Bond villain.
It was like Robert Redford did fight back against communism though.
Right.
Right. And that was there was a lot of there was interesting mentions about like the Cold War. There was like weird mentions about like the Cold War is over now.
Or is it?
Like we won. Or did we? Or did we win the Cold War? But then the Russians were trying to help him, but then they fucking capped the Russians. It was weird. It's like Ben Kingsley, he's like got his own agenda, but he's also working for the mob, and like they want this like the encryption device that was
Which
like
mob.
Just
the mob, the United States
organized crime,
the organized crime mob.
And let me tell you, it's not that organized. That was a line.
Yeah, that was
or something.
It was a terrible script.
How do you know some of these lines, but then you literally don't know anything?
I listened to it,
bro. But you didn't even hear when the Russian guy was gunned down.
If I had to take a test on the movie, I'd probably get like an F-, and that's pretty good for what. That's more than it deserves.
I feel like to establish credible opinions on films, you have to watch them.
I think I watched enough of it to know that it was bad. And to have enough material. I took notes. Did you take notes?
Yeah.
No, like, did you write down physical notes?
Up here.
On a piece of paper?
Up here.
I mean, granted, it's like one little sticky note, like one page.
Up
but
here.
It's not that much. Not that many notes. They're not in depth either. I just,
You said boring.
Yeah, really, really boring. Too confident. Hardly any sex. That one black guy got called Midnight at one point. Darth Vader was in it. Robbing Republicans is okay. Union College, liberal arts, BS. Yeah. So I learned something today about liberal colleges, though. They're not actually liberal. I mean, they are, but liberal. But the liberal part doesn't actually mean liberal.
Liberal arts schools are not. Dude, did you? Oh my god.
Let's get back to the plot.
Have you been going around thinking that?
Are we doing 2 hours this week, or are we just doing the one?
I think we're just doing the one.
Yeah.
We don't even.
Yeah, we can't. We've already sucked the marrow out of this thing.
We don't have enough material for fucking another entire hour.
I mean, we didn't even really get through the whole plot, did we? After performing their services for a bank, Martin is approached by NSA officers Dick Gordon and Buddy Wallace.
NSA officers.
He is asked to recover a black box from mathematician Dr. Gunter Janik, developed under the name Cetic Astronomy, supposedly for the Russian government. Martin is hesitant, but agrees when I'm getting like bored reading this. Martin and his team secure the box. Yeah, it's just like this MacGuffin hack box.
Little does Forrest know. Little does Forrest know that I picked this movie specifically to antagonize him.
It seems like it, because I honestly I was kind of like into it at first, because I was like, oh, it's gonna be like a throwback '90s film, like a chill, like a little
it
like
was
heist
pretty chill
thriller movie.
It was too chill.
But as it went on, I just got more and more mad because my time was being wasted.
Dude, you're not wasting your time to watch the movie that we're going to be talking about on the fucking podcast.
But I want to enjoy it, though.
Dude, you think I enjoyed watching Dracula?
I don't know how you couldn't. It was so good. He's like climbing up walls and shit. He's like baiting around on walls, and Keanu's fucking giving a terrible performance.
It's good.
It was so good.
Dude, if you just if you're looking for, only trying to experience bait, like that movie has what you would be looking for.
Yeah, dude.
But the thing is, when I'm watching,
and there's like a wolf man fucking some hot redhead.
When I'm watching a 2.5 hour movie, I'm not just looking for bait. I want something to follow. See,
I think you're just more preoccupied with like plot.
That makes a little bit of sense
than me. Like you care more about like story. I care more about like vibes. Yeah, I like to vibe it out.
How could you possibly? Where's the vibe?
It's all around, all over. It's oozing with charisma.
But how do you get a vibe from a movie that has a plot so opaque that you fucking can't see 2 feet in front of your fucking face?
The plot is just an engine for like, everything to dangle off of. I'm more interested in the dangly bits, like the tapestry, it chugs along at a steady clip, the plot, moves it forward, but that's not the most interesting part to me. It's how it's decorated, it's how it's, presented that is.
But if you aren't
the important part.
But if what you're presenting doesn't make any sense, how does the presentation, where's the value of the presentation if you're not presenting something that makes sense?
It doesn't need to. Not everything needs to make sense.
What?
That doesn't matter to me. That's what I'm saying. We just have different ways of different schools of thought on approaching film. Film.
It doesn't need to make sense.
Yeah, that's not the aspect of movies that
the part where the part where a story is told to you and it's engaging.
I like a good story, but kind of everything else surrounding it is just more interesting to me. So if the story is kind of weak, that can be made up for. But yeah,
kind of weak.
It doesn't seem like you really like the aesthetic or the vibes anyway on Dracula. So yeah, if you don't like that, then the story's definitely not gonna really get you going either.
What story? Number one. Number two.
the hop
number
back and
two.
forth.
No. Here's the
England
thing.
And Transylvania.
No. Here's the thing. Yeah. Like the
multiple hops back and forth,
the multiple Mediterranean fucking journeys.
Yeah. Culminating in a Dracula castle showdown.
Trans-European hopping back and forth. What? Who? What?
Better than
Oh my
Sleepy
god,
Hollow.
like
though.
like a game of Pong, like boom, boom, boom.
So
Across the map.
So far you're 2 for 2 in shit movie suggestions.
Me?
Yeah. But you didn't like Dracula, so I guess we both have failed. So
I mean,
far.
it's not a failure to suggest a movie that's not good. The premise is not to watch necessarily good movies. It's to watch movies and then have a discourse.
Right. Like,
Upon them.
This is our like half in the bag
or
show.
Not necessarily.
Like this is our show where we complain about feminism in film.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's really what they get up to, isn't it?
Yeah. This is our show where we bitch about diversity.
Oh.
You know what I'm tired of? Diversity.
Uh-oh.
You know what I'm sick of seeing in movies? Strong female leads.
You know what they need to bring back into Star Trek? A lack of diversity. Star Trek has always been. It's like guys.
You know what
Star Trek has always been, historically, it's been diverse.
You know what?
It's like its thing.
I need more people in wheelchairs though. That's the thing. I hardly ever see anyone.
The blind guy didn't do it for you?
Yeah, I hardly ever see anyone in a wheelchair in movies, and like why?
You're telling me you didn't see the blind guy?
Yeah, we need more blind people. Oh, man, I wish I was like the head of I wish I was like in a Kathleen Kennedy's position, because like I would do exactly what she's doing. I just like ruin every movie just on purpose.
She is good at that.
She's really good at that. Like she knows she's doing it too. That's what's so funny.
The only way she can get off is by making sure that movies that cost millions of dollars and hundreds of people's their life energy.
Oh, they got paid.
I know it. I know that they get paid, but it also costs their life energy, their finite time on this earth.
Yeah, don't worry about those people though. They got paid.
The only thing that can get her off is to make sure that these movies that cost so much time and human energy and suffering are just absolute trash. Then she can. She can finally eke out one orgasm.
Hey everyone, it's your old buddy Editing Forest here again. Wanted to let you know that there is an extended version of this episode up on the Patreon now. So go and get at it if you haven't already. If you have, then thank you.